Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure, three-time My Social Sports Volleyball Player of the Year.
You might know me from my movies, such as the romance film, A Set to Remember, or the action-adventure film, The Deadliest Spike, or even from Air Bud 3, Air Bud Spikes Back. I'm here as a public service to help you play volleyball better and safer. Volleyball is a pretty popular sport, but most recreational players have never really learned the rules, and this can cause some problems and some conflict. So let's start with the bare minimum rules. Without any rules, you're basically no better than a crowd at a concert knocking a beach ball around. So let's start with carries. The correct hit is a quick momentary touch of the ball to any part of the body. Anything longer than a momentary touch would be considered a carry. Palm contact is pretty much always a carry. Try making a fist instead. Also, any bump that turns into a lifting throwing motion. Another common carry we see is a scoop and throw motion. We tend to see this at recreational levels. All right, by now you know that you get 3 touches per volley. There is a little exception to that, and that's during a block. If a ball ricochets off a player's hands and is still playable by the team, that touch does not count towards your 3. All right, let's talk about blocking. Blocking is another area that confuses a lot of people. First thing I want you to know, it is legal to put your hands over the net to block a hard-driven ball. As long as your arms and hands are not touching the net, that is legal. What is not legal is starting an attack on a ball that hasn't come onto your side of the net. The next issue is touching the net. Any touch of the net is illegal, whether a little teeny pinky, elbow into it, backside, head, any of it. Why? Because we're trying to protect the net?
Oh, net. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, baby.
No. We're trying to protect the players from each other. Once players get comfortable playing right up against the net, inevitably they run into each other, and even worse, they tend to break ankles, landing on each other's feet. Also in indoor play, you'll find the 10-foot line. 10 foot back from the net, of course. What that means is that any player that's a back row player at the beginning of the play can't be in front of the line jumping to attack, right? They can jump from behind the line and land in front of it during the course of an attack, but they can't be either touching it or in front of it to jump and attack if they're a back row player. Another basic volleyball rule is no spiking or blocking the serve. The serve must be allowed to travel over the net and drop below the horizon of the net before you begin to play it. Another serving rule is where your feet can go. Your foot cannot touch the line while serving the ball. At the recreational level, a ref may just give a warning and tell you to do it again or knock it off, but technically, anytime your foot touches the line, you lose that serve. All right, how about a basic scoring rule? So everybody knows if you don't get the ball back over the net within 3 touches, you've lost the point. But you can also lose the point, of course, when the ball touches the ground on your side. So if a ball touches any part of the line, it's considered in. In outdoor, beach, sand volleyball, if we see the line move from the ball hitting even close to it, generally it's going to be called as if it touched the line, which means a point has been scored. The next couple rules don't come into play in outdoor fields like here, whether beach or grass, but indoor. Indoor, if the ball touches any of the sidewalls, it's generally considered dead instantly. Indoor, any ball that hits the ceiling is playable as long as it comes back down on your side and you still have a touch left to get it over the net. However, if it hits the ceiling and ricochets down under the other team's side, the point is lost. Also indoors, the ball can occasionally hit some other object, usually a basketball hoop. If it hits the basketball hoop or something like that, it's up to the ref to decide whether or not they thought it was playable. They might call a replay, or they might just call the point over. And now for a few rules that are specific to my social sports. Number one, no kicking the ball. Other my social specific rule is gender. You must have, on a 6-player team, at least 2 members of the opposite gender on the court. If there's 4 players, that number can drop to 1 of each gender. Next up are some rules that you're probably not going to run into at a recreational level. I'll let you know what they are, but probably not an issue. Number 1 is open hand setting. A clean open hand set means the ball does not show rotation, which means that you let go of the ball at 2 different times. Again, at our level of play in recreational, you shouldn't need to be worrying about this. Another common thing you see at advanced level of play is designated setters. You actually can have designated setters at a recreational level of play, like my social sports, but you need to make sure that your rotation is legal, meaning that your designated setter can't be out of the legal rotation to make it easier for them to get to the ball. Another more advanced concept that you see in indoor play at higher levels are liberos. Liberos are defensive specialists. They come in on a certain substitution pattern. Frankly, at a recreational level, you would need multiple judges to keep track of player movement, so generally speaking, this is not going to be allowed. So thanks for staying and listening to some rules about volleyball. Now let's go play. That's it. I am done. No more public service announcements for these little peasants. I don't care. Hey, Lenny. Yeah, Lenny, it's your client, McClure. Hey, I'm done doing PSAs. Yeah, I don't care what the judge says. Yeah, I'll take my chances with a jury trial. Tax evasion is basically a victimless crime, all right? Yeah, I'll take my chances, right? I was an Air Bud. I'm bigger than this.